what it do? This is Mystical Carter coming back at you one more time. Um, we're coming back at you with a topic that very few Wiccans, young witches, newbie witches, um, get a chance to discuss right off the bat, and that is sacrifices, including blood sacrifices. This is also something that scares a lot of the newbies away because they might run into more experienced witches. And I call them, personally, this is just my own personal thing, I call them as crossover witches, where they've studied and some mastered more than one avenue of spirituality when it comes to energy work. You know what I'm saying? You guys there?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna get Miss Nambi to repeat what she just said about sacrifices. Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay. Sacrifices in Wicca. Basically, Wicca disapproves of blood sacrifices. The only blood sacrifices they approve of are your own blood, like if you prick your finger and put a few drops in whatever you're working on, a spell or something, or if a woman uses her moon blood. I have even heard of some witches selling their moon blood. They'll sell their pads or tampons or something, and you're supposed to soak them in water and then use the water on your plants or in a spell or something. I'm not, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, they frown upon blood sacrifices, and I personally think that's a carryover from their Christian upbringing, Christian, Judaic, Abrahamic upbringing, where they feel that Christ was the ultimate sacrifice, and so no other sacrifices are necessary. But yeah, that's the way Wiccans feel about it. Wiccans feel about blood sacrifice.
So with Wiccans, you think they lean more toward using like maybe a stick of incense, or maybe an extra candle, then they might anoint with some oil. You think those are more along the lines of the sacrifices they might use?
Yes, that's more like it. They might leave a crystal, bury a crystal in the ground. Consider that a sacrifice. Leave a coin.
Right.
Something personal, an earring, something like that.
Have you ever heard of people like certain mythologies, they might tell you a certain food that a certain deity liked, like Athena, I think it's like apples and I forget the other one. So and this one I did myself. One time in the circle I was trying to channel energy and I took an apple and that was my sacrifice to her. You ever heard of you ever did anything like that?
Yeah. Food. Leaving out certain foods, certain herb bundles, things like that. The plants and foods that are sacred to a certain god or goddess. They'll do something like that, or they might write out a prayer on some parchment paper and put something with it, like a crystal or a coin or something, and fold it up and bury it. And that's considered a sacrifice. Another form of sacrifice is when you leave sacred food out. It was considered a sign that the sacrifice, because it's one thing to say, I'm going to do a sacrifice, I'm going to leave a sacrifice. But many people people don't speak of, what many Wiccans don't speak of, is you can do all the sacrifices you want if the sacrifices are not accepted. You've done it in vain.
Oh.
So what you have to do is look to see if your sacrifice has been accepted.
Right.
The food sacrifice, if you see animals have eaten it or if there's insect activity, that's a sign that your sacrifice was accepted.
Oh, good one. Is Morgan far back there?
Yes.
All right, my buddy's still alive. How you doing?
Pretty good.
I know this is a topic that me and you talk about a lot. I know you're itching to get in here. Come on in here and talk about these sacrifices.
Well, I agree with Miss Dobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to add, sacrifices meant to give something. Like nowadays, think about sacrifice. We need to sacrifice this. I need to sacrifice some time to do this, like that. It's something that we hold on to that we don't want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reverence behind a sacrifice. Is that you're giving something that's true to your heart, dear to you. You don't want to give it, but you're giving it anyway.
Uh-huh.
In Wicca, we talk about self-sacrifice all the time. and giving our time and effort to the goddess, to give our minds and thoughts to the goddess, to release and give our emotions to the goddess and stuff like this. These are all forms of self-sacrifice. To give up something that you've been doing and liking and start something different or something like that. Even though the goddess don't ask you to give up something you enjoy, but this would be a form of a sacrifice. In other schools of thought, they have talked about animal sacrifices and blood sacrifices, animal blood sacrifices. Now, in Wicca, I've seen people, I've even advised people to give meat offerings. Like Bobby said, we have the nature and wild. We also have deities that are connected to different parts, different animals,
Mm-hmm.
different parts of the animal kingdom. So we can leave out these offerings like seeds for the birds and different birds and stuff. Like for me, crows, I leave out food stuff out there around the trees where I see the crows. I know in the morning they're gonna get them.
Is that part of your sacrifice to, I'm guessing, Hecate or the Morgan, being the link to the crow and the raven?
Yeah. Exactly. As far as like blood sacrifices and animals, few Wiccans have I seen touched on this topic. But these are the same folks. I'm talking about folk magic and hoodoo. It's the same folks that will boil a cat just to get the bone out of it, or something. They ain't gonna do that now, but
What?
the pagans are the same folks that used to go sacrifice a few virgins and bulls. Have you seen Alexander, the movie?
Yeah.
They're bulls. And did you see Rome, the movie? Another bull. And all these different sacrifices and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With lambs and stuff. In the Bible, it talks about a sacrifice, bird sacrifices in Exodus. Abraham was told to give up his only son, sacrifice his only son. Instead, the angel stopped him, and then he sacrificed a lamb.
Mm-hmm.
The sacrifices all over in China and in Eastern India and stuff. They do these sacrifices. I don't know about China, but I know in Africans do these sacrifices. Now these sacrifices are seen as symbolic food, or not even symbolic. This is food for the gods, food of the spirits, food of the deities. They're feeding, they're strengthening up their deities. But also, in the same sense, to all my Wiccans and pagans out there, I want you to know that all these animals are treated with such love and care before they're sacrificed, because the essence, we want this animal to be full and whole, and with energy and love, and all of our prayers. We treat the animals so nice and everything, flowers and stuff all over them. And like, you never see the animals treated so good. And then it's sacrificed. It's that connection that bonds your sacrifice to your animal that you're going to sacrifice, and that severance of that connection. It's what you lift up to the gods and stuff. That just gives you a deeper look on sacrifices. And for all my Wiccans, I don't mean to offend y'all. All my vegans, I don't mean to offend y'all. But this is a topic y'all scared to talk about.
To add on to that, I like what you said, because, and one thing you another way to look at it, if just like he just mentioned the vegans, sacrifice an extra piece of fruit. You know what I mean? Find out a fruit that's native to the land that your deity comes from, and use that in your sacrifice. And for all the people that eat steaks and lamb chops and pork chops anyway, I mean, squeeze some of the blood off the package that your hamburger came out of, and put that in a little bowl for the offering. What's the difference? You eating it anyway.
But in the main sense is that you want to give something that's dear to you. So if you say you have 4 steaks, give one of your steaks. You got 3 people in your family. Give one of the extra steaks to the spirits or something. That'll be considered a legitimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
Give, like they tell you to tithe and do the church. Give a little piece of what you don't have to give.
Yeah.
And your return. That is not the expectation for the returns. It's just that I'm just throwing that little disclaimer out there. But anyway, it's not for the expectation of the returns. It's actually the devotion of giving something that's very true to your heart and sacrificing it.
Now don't just give some of the blood. Give flesh and blood. Now, if anybody remembers, I mean, when people think about the story of Cain and Abel, all they remember is, the brothers fought and, one of them got killed. They don't stop to remember what caused the fight. What caused the fight was a sacrifice that had been rejected.
Right.
There was the flesh and blood sacrifice, and there was the fruit and vegetable sacrifice.
Right.
And also in that same story, Cain sacrifices his brother to the earth.
Exactly, but his fruit and vegetable sacrifice was rejected. And he became jealous because his brother's meat sacrifice had been accepted. And like you said, he sacrificed his brother to the earth.
Well, is that it, y'all? Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. This has been Wiccans, Witches, and Sacrifices. Yay or nay? Are you for it? Are you against it? Is blood good, blood bad? My personal thoughts, it comes down to you and in your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Just like I said, you can offer a crystal, you can offer a coin. Use fruits and vegetables for all the vegans out there. You know what I mean? If you're a meat eater, cut that pork chop in half. Throw a little bit out there, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll be alright. And I don't have no catchphrases, so this is
Take that wicked booty. Take that wicked booty.
That's the more. Y'all know who that is. Y'all know who that is. That's yeah. Okay.
Shake that wicked booty. Alright, y'all. That's the Morgan Fire. Late.
Yes, we all recognize you. This is Mr. Carter, the real witch from around the way. Peace.